Did you know that during the dark moon phase, the moon's position between the Earth and Sun causes the night sky to become the darkest? The new moon is the most mysterious phase of the lunar cycle, completely hidden but, just bursting with cosmic energy. Did you know this phase also triggers the highest tides, reshaping coastlines and stirring marine life? It's kind of a cosmic reminder, true power often hides in the unseen. In the darkest night, the brightest possibilities are born. So, are you ready to embrace the invisible? What is a new moon? Well, the new moon is one of the most intriguing phases of the lunar cycle, often wrapped in mystery because it completely disappears from our night sky. Unlike the bright, glowing full moon, the new moon is invisible to the naked eye. This happens because the moon is positioned directly between the Earth and the Sun, so the side facing us just isn't illuminated by sunlight. Instead, we're looking at the moon's dark side, hidden in shadow. This phase marks the beginning of a new lunar cycle and lasts for about a day. But honestly, its significance goes beyond mere darkness. The new moon acts as a sort of cosmic reset button, a moment when the moon's light temporarily fades, inviting us to pause, reflect, and set new intentions. Even though it's invisible, the new moon influences many natural phenomena, including ocean tides, thanks to its gravitational pull. Culturally, the new moon has inspired rituals and symbolism across civilizations representing fresh starts and renewal. Understanding the new moon really helps us appreciate the subtle cosmic dance between Earth, the moon, and the sun that shapes our natural world. It reminds us how even unseen forces can have profound effects, connecting us to the rhythms of the universe. And for those who enjoy stargazing, the new moon also offers the perfect dark sky to explore celestial wonders, making this phase both scientifically and spiritually significant. Why is the new moon dark? Well, the reason the new moon appears dark is all about alignment and perspective. When the moon is between the Earth and the sunlight hits the side of the moon facing away from us, leaving the side we see in complete shadow. That's why the moon seems to vanish during this phase. It's not that the moon has disappeared, it's just that the sunlit part is facing away from Earth. This alignment also means the moon rises and sets roughly at the same time as the sun, making it basically impossible to spot in the night sky. The darkness of the new moon is just a natural consequence of this celestial positioning. Interestingly, this phase is the only time when the moon's reflected light doesn't brighten the night, creating the darkest skies of the month. This absence of moonlight has important effects on both nature and human activities, from the behavior of nocturnal animals to the clarity of the stars above. The new moon's darkness is a powerful reminder of how perspective shapes what we see in the universe. The new moon and tides. Now that's a fascinating connection. The new moon doesn't just affect the night sky, it has a powerful influence on Earth's tides. When the moon is new, it aligns perfectly with the sun and Earth, creating what scientists call spring tides. These tides aren't about the season but about the strength of the gravitational pull. During a new moon, the combined gravitational forces of the sun and the moon pull the ocean's water in the same direction, causing higher high tides and lower low tides. This leads to more extreme tidal ranges, which can really impact coastal ecosystems and human activities near the shore. Fishermen, sailors, and beachgoers have long noticed these changes, even if they didn't quite understand the science behind them. The new moon's gravitational effect reaches far beyond just water. It subtly influences the Earth's crust and atmosphere, making it a key player in our planet's natural rhythms. This tidal dance is a reminder of how interconnected our world is with the movements of celestial bodies, even when the moon itself is hidden from view. Cultural and historical significance. Across the globe, the new moon has held a special place in human culture and history. Long before modern science explained the lunar cycle, people observed the new moon as a symbol of new beginnings and mystery. Many ancient calendars, including those of the Chinese, Hebrew, and Islamic traditions, are based on the lunar cycle, marking months from one new moon to the next. Rituals and festivals often coincide with this phase, celebrating renewal, planting, or spiritual reflection. In some cultures, the new moon is considered a powerful time for setting intentions or performing ceremonies to invite growth and change. Myths and legends also surround the new moon, portraying it as a time when the veil between worlds is thin, or when hidden forces are at work. This cultural richness adds layers of meaning to the new moon's darkness, transforming it from a simple astronomical event into a profound symbol of transformation and hope. The new moon's influence on human life shows how deeply we are connected to the cycles of nature, even in the darkest moments. New moon and nighttime darkness. Darkness has a way of transforming the night, and during the new moon, this transformation reaches its peak. Without the moon's glow, the night becomes profoundly dark, creating an environment that profoundly affects both nature and human life. Nocturnal animals, those creatures adapted to thrive in the night, experience a different world during the new moon. Predators may find it easier to hunt while prey animals become more cautious, relying on other senses to survive. For humans, the absence of moonlight changes how we experience the night. Stars shine brighter and the sky feels vast and mysterious. This darkness also influences human behavior and activities. In ancient times, people planned their schedules around the moon's light, and today astronomers take advantage of these moonless nights to observe the cosmos with greater clarity. The new moon's darkness is more than just an absence of light. It's a powerful force that shapes the rhythms of life after sunset. The new moon's role in astronomy. The new moon is a stargazer's best friend because its darkness creates the perfect conditions for observing the night sky. Normally, the moon's brightness washes out faint stars and distant galaxies, making it difficult to see these celestial wonders. However, during the new moon, when the moon is hidden from view, the sky becomes a clear, dark canvas ideal for astronomy. This phase offers an excellent opportunity to spot shooting stars, distant planets, and the shimmering band of the Milky Way. Professional observatories plan their most sensitive observations around the new moon to avoid interference from moonlight, maximizing the clarity of their data. The new moon also provides a unique chance to witness rare celestial events such as meteor showers or faint comets, which might otherwise be obscured by the moon's glow. The absence of moonlight during the new moon opens a window to the universe, inviting both amateur and professional astronomers to explore beyond our planet and deepen our connection with the cosmos. This phase reminds us that sometimes, the absence of something, like the moon's light, can reveal the most extraordinary sights in the night sky, making the new moon an essential moment for anyone fascinated by the stars. New moon and human psychology. The new moon has long been associated with mysterious shifts in human mood and behavior, sparking curiosity and debate among scientists and believers alike. Some studies suggest that the darkness of the new moon may influence sleep patterns, allowing some people to rest more deeply without the interference of moonlight. This absence of lunar illumination could create an environment conducive to better sleep for certain individuals. Beyond sleep, many believe the new moon's energy encourages introspection and calm, fostering emotional shifts toward quiet reflection. While scientific evidence remains mixed and inconclusive, the idea that lunar phases impact human psychology persists across cultures and generations. People often report feeling different during the new moon, experiencing subtle mood changes or heightened intuition. This enduring connection between the moon's cycle and our inner world highlights how deeply intertwined humans are with natural rhythms, even when those rhythms are invisible to the eye. The new moon's darkness symbolizes a time for turning inward, aligning with cycles of renewal and personal growth. Whether these effects are psychological, cultural, or a combination of both, the new moon continues to inspire fascination and a sense of mystery about our relationship with the cosmos. New moon in astrology. In astrology, the new moon symbolizes fresh starts and new possibilities, making it an ideal time to set intentions and plant seeds for future goals. Astrologers view this phase as a moment that supports personal growth by encouraging reflection and careful planning. Unlike the full moon, which represents culmination and release, the new moon invites quiet contemplation and the excitement of beginnings. Many people use the new moon to journal, meditate, or perform rituals aimed at manifesting their desires. This phase is seen as a powerful opportunity to reset and refocus, offering a spiritual dimension to the lunar cycle's darkness. The energy of the new moon is believed to foster hope and potential, making it a time to embrace change and envision what lies ahead. Whether or not one follows astrology, the concept of the new moon as a moment for renewal can be a meaningful tool for personal development. It encourages pausing to reflect on goals, realign priorities, and approach life with intention. This perspective transforms the new moon from a simple celestial event into a symbol of empowerment and transformation, inspiring individuals to harness its energy for growth and positive change. Scientific mysteries and theories. The new moon, while a familiar phase in the lunar cycle, continues to intrigue scientists with mysteries beyond its visible darkness. Its subtle gravitational forces influence Earth's environment in ways still under investigation. Primarily, the moon's gravity causes tides by pulling on Earth's oceans and atmosphere, creating bulges that result in high and low tides twice daily. However, researchers are exploring whether these gravitational effects extend further, potentially affecting atmospheric pressure and seismic activity. Some theories propose that the new moon's gravitational alignment might trigger minor earthquakes or volcanic activity, though current evidence remains inconclusive. Additionally, the absence of moonlight during the new moon phase has ecological implications, especially in remote or protected areas where artificial light pollution is minimal. This darkness affects nocturnal animal behavior and ecosystem dynamics, prompting ongoing studies into how lunar light cycles influence biological processes. The new moon's impact on plant growth and nutrient cycles is also a subject of multidisciplinary research, linking lunar phases to natural and agricultural systems. These investigations highlight that the new moon is more than a simple lunar phase. It is a complex phenomenon with layered effects on Earth's physical and biological systems. The darkness of the new moon holds secrets that challenge our understanding and inspire continued curiosity about the intricate connections between celestial events and life on Earth. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the mysteries of the new moon. If you enjoyed uncovering these cosmic secrets, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell icon, so you never miss an InnoVision Tech video. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What fascinates you most about the new moon? Drop a comment below and share your ideas or questions. Stay curious and keep looking up. Over 300 million years ago, Earth's continents collided to form one massive landmass known as Pangaea, covering nearly a third of the planet's surface. This supercontinent wasn't just a geographical marvel, it set the stage for the deadliest era in Earth's history, marked by extreme climates and catastrophic extinctions. Here's a striking fact. The Permian-Triassic extinction wiped out about 90% of marine species. Did you know how this ancient world shaped the future of life on Earth? Formation of Pangaea. The Earth once held a secret so vast and powerful that it reshaped the entire planet, an ancient supercontinent called Pangaea. Around 335 million years ago, the restless movements of tectonic plates forced all the separate landmasses to collide and merge into one colossal landmass, stretching from pole to pole. This wasn't just a simple joining of continents, it was a monumental event that transformed Earth's geography, climate, and life forever. Pangaea's formation created a world unlike anything we see today, a single massive expanse of land surrounded by a global ocean. This immense size meant that the interior regions were isolated from the moderating effects of the sea, leading to harsh, unforgiving conditions. Vast deserts sprawled across the heart of Pangaea, where temperatures soared during the day and plummeted at night, creating a relentless environment that tested the limits of survival. The merging of continents also triggered intense geological activity, with earthquakes and volcanic eruptions shaking the land and spewing clouds of ash and toxic gases into the atmosphere. These dramatic changes set the stage for one of the deadliest chapters in Earth's history. Yet, amid this chaos, life found ways to adapt and evolve, laying the groundwork for future species. Understanding Pangaea's formation is not just about looking back at a lost world, it's about unraveling the forces that have shaped the planet's past and continue to influence its future. This colossal supercontinent was the foundation of an era marked by extremes, survival, and transformation, making it one of the most fascinating and deadly periods in Earth's history. Extreme climate conditions. When a supercontinent as massive as Pangaea dominates the Earth, the climate doesn't just change, it becomes extreme and unforgiving. Far from the calming influence of the oceans, the vast interior of Pangaea was a brutal desert wasteland. Without nearby seas to provide moisture, these inland regions baked under scorching heat during the day, often reaching temperatures that would challenge any living creature. But when night fell, the heat vanished almost instantly, plunging the land into freezing cold. This dramatic temperature swing created one of the harshest environments Earth has ever seen, where survival was a daily battle against nature's extremes. The lack of humidity and rainfall meant that water was scarce, and plants struggled to grow, limiting food sources for animals. Meanwhile, the edges of Pangaea near the coasts experienced more moderate conditions, but the vast majority of life had to endure this relentless desert climate. These extreme conditions also influenced wind patterns, stirring up massive dust storms that could blot out the sun and further disrupt ecosystems. This wasn't just a tough era for life, it was a time that tested the very limits of adaptation and resilience. The climate extremes of Pangaea shaped the evolution of species, forcing them to develop unique survival strategies or face extinction. Understanding this brutal climate helps us grasp why Pangaea's era is remembered as one of the deadliest in Earth's history, where only the toughest could endure the relentless heat, cold, and dryness. Volcanic activity and toxic atmosphere. Volcanoes don't just shape landscapes, they can rewrite the fate of life itself. During the era of Pangaea, volcanic activity reached terrifying heights, unleashing massive eruptions that blanketed the sky with ash and toxic gases. These eruptions weren't isolated events, they were part of a series of colossal volcanic outbursts that released enormous amounts of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. The result? A deadly cocktail that poisoned the air, acidified rainstorms, and plunged the planet into environmental chaos. This toxic atmosphere choked plant life, disrupted food chains, and created conditions so harsh that many species couldn't survive. Acid rain, born from volcanic gases mixing with moisture, scoured the land and freshwater sources, making survival even more difficult. The volcanic ash also blocked sunlight, cooling the earth temporarily but causing devastating impacts on photosynthesis, the process plants rely on to grow. This chain reaction rippled through ecosystems, weakening animals that depended on plants and triggering widespread extinctions. The volcanic fury of Pangaea was a key player in the deadliest mass extinction in Earth's history, the Permian-Triassic event, which wiped out a staggering number of species. These eruptions remind us how powerful Earth's internal forces can be, capable of reshaping the atmosphere and life on a global scale. Understanding this volcanic nightmare helps explain why the time of Pangaea was not only a period of great geological change, but also one of the deadliest eras our planet has ever faced. The Permian-Triassic extinction event. Some moments in Earth's history are so catastrophic they kinda redefine life itself, and the Permian-Triassic extinction event was exactly that. Occurring about 252 million years ago, this mass extinction wiped out nearly 90% of marine species and around 70% of land-dwelling creatures, making it the deadliest extinction ever recorded. The causes were, pretty complex, but the supercontinent Pangaea played a starring role. Its massive size and extreme environmental conditions created a perfect storm of stressors. Volcanic eruptions released toxic gases, the climate swung wildly, and habitats shrank dramatically. These factors combined to devastate ecosystems on an unprecedented scale. Oceans became oxygen-poor dead zones, suffocating marine life, while on land, harsh deserts and acid rains made survival nearly impossible. The extinction wasn't just a quick event, it actually unfolded over thousands of years, reshaping life's trajectory on Earth. This catastrophe cleared the way for new species to evolve, including the ancestors of dinosaurs and mammals. Understanding the Permian-Triassic extinction reveals just how fragile life can be when faced with rapid environmental upheaval, and how Earth's systems are deeply interconnected. It's a chilling reminder that even the most dominant life forms can vanish when conditions turn deadly, marking Pangaea's era as one of the most perilous chapters in our planet's story. Lack of coastal habitats. When a supercontinent like Pangaea forms, it drastically reshapes the world's coastlines, and that can mean disaster for countless species. With all the land masses fused together, the total length of coastlines shrank dramatically, wiping out many shallow marine habitats that are crucial for biodiversity. These coastal zones are typically rich in nutrients and shelter, serving as nurseries for countless marine creatures. Without these safe havens, many species lost their breeding grounds and feeding areas, which put enormous pressure on their survival. The vast interior of Pangaea was far from the sea, so most life had to endure harsh, dry conditions, with limited access to water and food. This lack of coastal environments meant fewer opportunities for life to thrive and diversify. The shrinking of these habitats contributed to the mass extinction events that marked Pangaea's era, as species that depended on coastal ecosystems struggled to adapt or faced extinction. It's a stark reminder that geography can directly influence life's chances on Earth. The loss of coastline wasn't just a minor change. It was a major factor in making Pangaea's time one of the deadliest eras in our planet's history. Understanding how the supercontinent's formation squeezed coastal habitats helps us see how interconnected Earth's systems are, and how changes in one area can ripple across the entire biosphere. Gigantic inland seas and their role. Even in the harshest environments, life finds pockets of refuge, and during Pangaea's reign, massive inland seas played that crucial role. These enormous bodies of water formed in low-lying areas of the supercontinent, creating isolated aquatic habitats amid the vast deserts and arid landscapes. Though limited compared to today's oceans, these inland seas became vital sanctuaries for marine life struggling to survive the extreme conditions. They provided not only water, but also more stable climates and food sources, allowing species to persist when much of the land was hostile. These seas also influenced local weather patterns, bringing occasional rains that supported surrounding ecosystems. However, these inland waters were often shallow and prone to fluctuations in salinity and oxygen levels, making them challenging environments that only specially adapted organisms could endure. The presence of these seas highlights the complexity of Pangaea's ecosystems. While much of the supercontinent was deadly, life clung to these watery oases, evolving unique survival strategies. Studying these ancient inland seas offers valuable insights into how life can persist in extreme conditions and adapt to rapidly changing environments. They were lifelines in a world otherwise dominated by harsh deserts and volcanic upheaval, underscoring the resilience and tenacity of life during one of Earth's deadliest eras. Evolution of early reptiles and mammal precursors. Survival during Pangaea's deadly era wasn't just about endurance, it was about evolution and innovation. Early reptiles and the precursors to mammals emerged during this time, developing remarkable adaptations to cope with the harsh environment. These creatures had to face scorching deserts, toxic atmospheres, and scarce resources, which honestly pushed them to evolve new ways to regulate their body temperature, conserve water, and find food. For example, some reptiles developed tougher skin to reduce water loss, while others adapted more efficient respiratory systems to survive in oxygen-poor conditions. These evolutionary leaps laid the foundation for the incredible diversity of life that would follow. Mammal ancestors, though small and fragile-looking, were already experimenting with traits like warm-bloodedness and more complex behaviors, giving them an edge in a world dominated by reptiles. This period was a crucible of natural selection, where only the most adaptable species thrived. The evolutionary innovations born in Pangaea's harsh climate set the stage for future dominance by mammals and reptiles alike. Understanding these early adaptations reveals how life can not only survive but also innovate under extreme pressure, turning a deadly era into a launching pad for evolutionary success. This resilience and creativity in the face of adversity make Pangaea's time a fascinating chapter in the story of life on Earth. Shifting weather patterns and monsoons. When a landmass as enormous as Pangaea dominates the planet, it doesn't just change geography, it rewires the climate system itself. The sheer size of this supercontinent disrupted global weather patterns, creating intense monsoon cycles that brought both devastating floods and prolonged droughts. These monsoons were driven by the extreme temperature differences between Pangaea's scorching interior deserts and the surrounding oceans. During the wet season, powerful winds swept moisture deep into the continent, causing sudden, violent storms that could flood vast areas. Then came the dry season, when those same regions baked under relentless heat, turning fertile lands into barren dust bowls. This unpredictable pendulum of weather stressed plants and animals alike, forcing them to adapt quickly or, perish. The monsoon-driven climate also contributed to soil erosion and altered river systems, reshaping landscapes and habitats. These extreme weather swings made life precarious, especially for species already struggling with limited resources and toxic atmospheric conditions. Understanding how Pangaea's massive size created such volatile weather patterns reveals why this era was so deadly, and why survival required remarkable resilience. It's a vivid example of how Earth's physical changes ripple through climate and ecosystems, shaping the fate of life on a global scale. Geological evidence left behind. The story of Pangaea is etched deep into the rocks beneath our feet, offering a window into a world long gone but never forgotten. Geological evidence, from fossil records to sediment layers and rock formations, paints a vivid picture of the deadliest era Earth has ever faced. Fossils reveal which species thrived and which vanished, showing the dramatic shifts in biodiversity caused by Pangaea's harsh conditions. Sediment layers tell tales of ancient deserts, volcanic ash deposits, and shifting shorelines, helping scientists reconstruct the climate and environmental upheavals of the time. These clues also uncover the timing and impact of massive volcanic eruptions and the Permian-Triassic extinction event, linking geological activity to biological crises. Rock formations, such as glacial deposits found far from the poles, provide evidence of extreme climate swings and the supercontinent's vast reach. Together, these geological records allow researchers to piece together how Pangaea's formation and eventual breakup influenced Earth's climate, ecosystems, and evolutionary pathways. Studying this evidence not only unravels the mysteries of the past, but also offers insights into how our planet responds to massive environmental changes, knowledge that is crucial as we face our own global challenges today. The stones beneath us are silent storytellers, revealing a world where life battled against the odds in one of Earth's most perilous chapters. Breakup of Pangaea and its aftermath. The breakup of Pangaea was not just the end of a supercontinent, it was the dawn of a new world, reshaping Earth's landscapes, climates, and life forever. Around 175 million years ago, the massive landmass began to fracture, driven by the same tectonic forces that once brought it together. This slow but relentless process created new coastlines, ocean basins, and mountain ranges, transforming the planet's geography and opening up fresh habitats. As the continents drifted apart, climates became more varied and stable, allowing ecosystems to recover from the extreme conditions that had dominated Pangaea's era. This breakup paved the way for the rise of dinosaurs, mammals, and countless other species that would come to define the Mesozoic and beyond. The shifting continents also altered ocean currents and weather patterns, fostering greater biodiversity and evolutionary innovation. While Pangaea's time was marked by deadly extremes, its breakup sparked renewal and diversification, proving that Earth's history is a cycle of destruction and rebirth. Understanding this transition helps us appreciate how dynamic our planet is, constantly changing and adapting over millions of years. The story of Pangaea's breakup is a powerful reminder that even the most formidable forces of nature eventually give way to new beginnings, shaping the world we live in today. Thanks for exploring the incredible story of Pangaea with us here at InnoVision Tech. If you enjoyed diving into Earth's deadliest era and want to stay updated on fascinating tech and science topics, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us what amazed you the most or what you want to learn about next. Join our community, and let's keep exploring the future of technology and discovery together. The universe is a vast and unforgiving place where each planet holds its own deadly secrets. Did you know that the surface temperature on Venus is hot enough to melt lead, making it the hottest planet in our solar system? This scorching fact reveals just how hostile some worlds truly are. But what if you could experience the final moments on these planets? Would you survive? Or would the planet itself become your ultimate executioner? Are you ready to discover what it's really like to die on every planet? Mercury. Mercury is a planet of extremes, and dying there would be a brutal experience unlike anything on Earth. With daytime temperatures soaring to a blistering 430 degrees Celsius, your body would be exposed to intense heat that could incinerate you in moments. But the horror doesn't end when the sun sets. Nighttime temperatures plunge to a bone-chilling minus 180 degrees Celsius, freezing anything left behind. The planet's atmosphere is almost non-existent, offering no protection from deadly solar radiation or any breathable air. Without a spacesuit, suffocation would be swift, and the lack of atmosphere means there's no sound, no wind, just a silent, lifeless void. The surface is covered in craters and jagged rocks, making any attempt to survive physically impossible. On Mercury, you wouldn't just die, you'd be crushed between extremes, scorched by the sun's relentless heat, then frozen solid in the cold vacuum of space. It's a place where survival isn't just unlikely, it's impossible. A stark reminder of how fragile life is beyond our home planet. The merciless environment of Mercury is a testament to the unforgiving nature of space, where the difference between life and death is measured in degrees and seconds. Venus. Venus is often called Earth's twin, but dying there would be nothing like anything we experience here. The moment you step onto Venus, you'd be crushed by an atmosphere 92 times denser than Earth's. Imagine the pressure at the bottom of the deepest ocean multiplied many times over. Your body wouldn't just break, it would be flattened under this immense weight in seconds. But pressure is just the beginning. The air is almost entirely carbon dioxide, laced with clouds of sulfuric acid that would corrode your skin and lungs instantly. Breathing in even a single breath would be fatal, causing immediate suffocation and chemical burns. Temperatures on the surface hover around a hellish 465 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead, so any exposed flesh would be incinerated rapidly. The thick, toxic atmosphere traps heat in a runaway greenhouse effect, making Venus the hottest planet in our solar system despite not being the closest to the sun. There's no shelter from this relentless inferno. The crushing pressure, suffocating air, and blistering heat combine to create a death sentence unlike any other. On Venus, survival isn't just unlikely, it's impossible. It's a world that reminds us how delicate our existence is, and how uniquely suited Earth is to support life. Facing death on Venus means confronting an alien environment so hostile it defies human endurance, a stark warning of the dangers lurking in our cosmic neighborhood. Earth. Earth is the only planet we truly call home, but even here, death comes in countless forms, each a reminder of life's fragility. Unlike the other planets where death is swift and absolute, Earth offers a complex dance between survival and demise. From natural disasters like earthquakes and hurricanes to diseases and aging, death here is often a drawn-out process, filled with struggle and sometimes peace. Our atmosphere, rich in oxygen, sustains life but also carries invisible threats like viruses and pollutants. The diversity of ecosystems means death can come from a myriad of sources, predators, accidents, or even the slow decay of time. Yet Earth's protective magnetic field and breathable air make it uniquely suited for life to thrive, fight, and sometimes cheat death for a while longer. Unlike the crushing pressures of Venus or the freezing void of Mars, Earth's environment allows for hope, healing, and resilience. Death here is not just an end but part of a cycle that fuels new beginnings. It's a planet where life and death are intertwined in a delicate balance, making every moment precious. While the other planets offer harsh, immediate ends, Earth's version of dying is a complex, deeply human experience, sometimes tragic, sometimes beautiful, but always a testament to the extraordinary conditions that make life possible. Mars. Mars might seem like the most promising place to visit beyond Earth, but dying there would be a harsh and lonely ordeal. The thin atmosphere, made mostly of carbon dioxide, offers almost no oxygen, so without a spacesuit, suffocation would be swift and inevitable. Temperatures on Mars can plunge to a frigid minus 125 degrees Celsius at night, freezing exposed skin and organs in minutes. Unlike Earth, Mars lacks a protective magnetic field, leaving its surface bombarded by deadly cosmic and solar radiation that would damage your cells and accelerate death. The planet's dusty environment, with frequent dust storms that can engulf the entire planet for weeks, would make breathing impossible and blind any hope of escape. Even if you survived the initial lack of air and freezing cold, The relentless radiation and isolation would make death certain. Mars has no liquid water on the surface, no shelter, and no atmosphere to soften the blow. It's a barren wasteland where life struggles to exist, and death comes quickly and quietly. Facing death on Mars is a stark reminder of how uniquely Earth protects and nurtures life, and how unforgiving the cosmos can be beyond our fragile blue planet. Jupiter. Jupiter is a colossal giant, but dying there would be a violent and instantaneous ordeal. Unlike the rocky planets, Jupiter is a gas giant with no solid surface to stand on, only layers of thick, crushing gases. As you plunge into its atmosphere, the pressure would increase so rapidly that your body would be crushed like a tin can within seconds. The intense gravity, over 2.5 times that of Earth, would make every movement agonizing and suffocating. On top of that, Jupiter's atmosphere is filled with deadly radiation belts far stronger than Earth's, capable of frying your cells and nervous system almost instantly. Violent storms rage across the planet, including the famous Great Red Spot, a storm larger than Earth that has been raging for centuries, with winds reaching hundreds of miles per hour. There's no hope of survival in this swirling chaos, no solid ground, no breathable air, just a crushing, radioactive storm that would obliterate you long before you could even realize what's happening. Dying on Jupiter is a brutal reminder of the raw, unforgiving forces that dominate the gas giants, worlds so alien and extreme that human life simply cannot exist. It's a death that's swift, violent, and utterly merciless, highlighting the stark contrast between Earth's hospitable environment and the hostile vastness of our solar system. Saturn. Saturn's breathtaking rings might captivate your imagination, but dying on this gas giant would be a nightmare beyond comprehension. Like Jupiter, Saturn has no solid surface, just thick layers of hydrogen and helium gas, crushing everything beneath with unimaginable pressure. As you descend, the pressure would increase so rapidly that your body would be flattened and crushed in moments. The atmosphere is toxic, offering no oxygen and filled with deadly gases that would suffocate you instantly. Violent storms rage across the planet, with winds reaching speeds of over 1,800 kilometers per hour, battering anything caught in their path. The cold temperatures and crushing gravity would leave no chance for survival, while the intense radiation belts would fry your cells in seconds. Even the iconic rings made of ice and rock offer no refuge. They are a dazzling but deadly barrier circling this hostile world. Dying on Saturn means being overwhelmed by crushing pressure, toxic gases, and relentless storms. A stark contrast to the calm and life-sustaining environment of Earth. It's a brutal end on a planet that looks beautiful from afar but hides a violent and merciless reality beneath its shimmering facade. Uranus. Uranus is a world of icy mystery, but dying there would be a chilling and merciless experience. Its atmosphere, a toxic blend of hydrogen, helium, and methane, offers no oxygen and would poison your lungs instantly. Temperatures plunge to an unimaginable -224 degrees Celsius, colder than any other planet in the solar system, freezing exposed flesh and internal organs within moments. The planet's extreme winds, reaching speeds of up to 900 kilometers per hour, would batter your body relentlessly, tearing at any protective gear or suit. Unlike the fiery infernos of Venus or the crushing gas giants, Uranus kills with a deadly combination of freezing cold, toxic air, and violent storms. Its tilted axis causes extreme seasonal changes, but no season brings relief from the brutal conditions. Radiation levels, though less intense than Jupiter or Saturn, still pose a lethal threat over time. Death on Uranus is a slow, frozen suffocation, a stark contrast to the fiery or crushing ends on other planets. It's a silent, icy grave in the depths of space, reminding us how fragile life is and how uniquely Earth shelters us from such cosmic horrors. Neptune. Neptune is a planet of extremes where death would come in a violent and unforgiving storm. The atmosphere is a swirling mix of hydrogen, helium, and methane, creating a toxic environment with no oxygen to breathe. Temperatures plunge to a bone-chilling -214 degrees Celsius, or -353 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing any exposed skin and organs almost instantly. But it's the winds that truly define Neptune's deadly nature. Howling at speeds up to 2,100 kilometers per hour, these are the fastest winds in the solar system, capable of tearing apart anything in their path. The crushing atmospheric pressure would squeeze your body relentlessly as you descend, while the intense cold would freeze you solid. Unlike the gas giants closer to the sun, Neptune's storms are mysterious and fierce, swirling in a dark blue haze that hides the planet's lethal secrets. Radiation levels add another layer of danger, damaging cells and accelerating death. Dying on Neptune means facing a brutal combination of freezing cold, crushing pressure, toxic air, and relentless planet-wide storms. It's a death marked by chaos and silence, a stark reminder of how hostile the outer reaches of our solar system truly are. Neptune's beauty from afar masks a violent world where survival is impossible, and death is swift and merciless. Pluto. Pluto may no longer be classified as a planet, but dying there would still be a chilling and lonely fate. This distant dwarf world is a frozen wasteland with surface temperatures dropping to nearly -240 degrees Celsius, colder than any other place in our solar system. The atmosphere is incredibly thin, mostly nitrogen, with almost no oxygen to breathe. Without protection, you would freeze solid within moments, your body succumbing to the extreme cold and lack of air. Pluto's weak gravity and lack of magnetic field mean it offers no shield from deadly cosmic radiation, which would slowly damage your cells as you drift in the frigid darkness. The surface itself is covered in ice and rocky terrain, offering no shelter or warmth. Death on Pluto is a slow, frozen suffocation in a silent, desolate environment where time seems to stand still. It's a stark reminder of the vast, cold reaches of space and how uniquely Earth supports life. Far from the warmth and protection of the sun, Pluto is a graveyard of ice and silence, a place where survival is impossible and death is absolute. The Sun. The Sun is the ultimate force of destruction in our solar system, and dying there would be an instant and fiery end beyond comprehension. Temperatures on the Sun's surface soar to around 5,500 degrees Celsius, hot enough to vaporize any matter in seconds. As you approach, the intense heat would burn away your skin, muscles, and bones almost immediately, reducing your body to a cloud of plasma before you even reach the surface. The sun's gravity is so powerful that it would pull you in at unimaginable speeds, crushing and stretching your body in a deadly process called spaghettification. Beyond the surface lies the sun's core, where nuclear fusion powers its immense energy output, an environment utterly hostile to any form of life. There's no escape from the searing radiation pouring out in all directions, which would fry your cells and nervous system instantly. Death on the sun isn't just an end, it's a violent obliteration, a complete erasure of existence in a blaze of unimaginable heat and energy. It's the ultimate reminder that while the sun gives life to Earth, it also holds the power to destroy everything in an instant. Facing death on the sun is confronting the raw, unstoppable force at the heart of our solar system, a fiery grave that consumes all without mercy. Thanks for joining us on this cosmic journey through the final moments on every planet. If you enjoyed exploring these mind-blowing facts and want to dive deeper into the wonders of science and technology, make sure to subscribe to InnoVision Tech. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us which planet's death scenario surprised you the most. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video. Earth's distance from the sun isn't constant. It actually changes throughout the year because our orbit is elliptical. At its closest point, which is called perihelion, Earth is about 5 million kilometers nearer to the sun than at aphelion, its farthest point. This variation affects the solar energy we receive by roughly 7%, subtly influencing climate patterns. And here's a striking fact: Earth is actually closest to the sun during the northern hemisphere's winter. Did you know that? What is perihelion? Well, Earth's journey around the sun is far from a perfect circle. It's an ellipse, which means there are moments when our planet is closer to the sun, and times when it's farther away. The closest point in this orbit is called perihelion, and it happens every year in early January. At perihelion, Earth is about 147 million kilometers from the sun, which is roughly 5 million kilometers closer than average. This proximity means our planet receives a bit more solar energy during this time. On the flip side, aphelion is the point when Earth is farthest from the sun, occurring around early July. Here, Earth is about 152 million kilometers away, making it the most distant it gets in its orbit. These changes in distance might sound like they would drastically affect our seasons, but surprisingly, they don't. Seasons are driven by the tilt of Earth's axis, not how close or far we are from the sun. Still, the difference in distance does cause slight variations in the amount of solar energy Earth receives, which can subtly influence climate patterns. Over long periods, gravitational pulls from other planets slowly tweak Earth's orbit, changing the timing and shape of perihelion and aphelion. Understanding these points in Earth's orbit helps us appreciate the dynamic nature of our planet's path through space, and its subtle effects on our environment. What is aphelion? Earth's orbit isn't just about getting closer or farther from the sun, it's a fascinating dance shaped by gravity that keeps our planet moving in an elliptical path. This elliptical orbit means that twice a year, Earth reaches two special points: perihelion, when it's closest to the sun, and aphelion, when it's farthest away. Perihelion occurs around early January, marking the moment Earth is approximately 147 million kilometers from the sun. This closeness means the sun appears slightly larger in the sky and Earth absorbs a bit more solar energy. Conversely, aphelion happens around early July, when Earth is about 152 million kilometers away, making the sun appear a little smaller. This difference in distance, about 5 million kilometers, might seem huge, but it only changes the solar energy Earth receives by roughly 7%. While this variation influences the intensity of sunlight, it's not the main driver of our seasons. That role belongs to Earth's tilted axis. Interestingly, the timing of perihelion and aphelion shifts slowly over thousands of years, due to gravitational nudges from other planets, subtly altering Earth's climate patterns over long timescales. Understanding aphelion helps us appreciate how dynamic and ever-changing our solar system really is, and how even small shifts in our orbit can ripple through the environment in surprising ways. Earth's orbital shape. Earth's orbit is often imagined as a perfect circle, but in reality, it's an ellipse, an elongated shape that creates fascinating variations in our planet's distance from the sun. This elliptical orbit is the reason we experience perihelion and aphelion, two key points that mark Earth's closest and farthest positions from the sun. At perihelion, which happens in early January, Earth is about 147 million kilometers away from the sun, making it the nearest point in its orbit. This proximity means the sun's rays hit Earth with slightly more intensity, but surprisingly, this doesn't translate into warmer global temperatures, because seasons depend on Earth's axial tilt, not distance. On the other hand, aphelion occurs in early July, when Earth is around 152 million kilometers away, the farthest point in its orbit. Despite being farther, this time coincides with summer in the northern hemisphere due to the tilt of Earth's axis toward the sun. The elliptical shape of Earth's path causes about a 5 million kilometer difference between these 2 points, which affects the amount of solar energy our planet receives by roughly 7%. This subtle fluctuation influences climate patterns over time but doesn't dictate the seasons. Understanding the elliptical nature of Earth's orbit and the concepts of perihelion and aphelion reveals the intricate cosmic choreography that shapes our environment in ways many don't realize. When does perihelion occur? Every year, in the first days of January, Earth reaches a unique point in its orbit known as perihelion, the moment when our planet is closest to the sun. This event might seem surprising because it happens during the northern hemisphere's winter, yet Earth is actually about 5 million kilometers closer to the sun than average, at roughly 147 million kilometers away. This proximity means the sun's energy is slightly more intense, causing the sunlight to be about 7% stronger than when Earth is at its farthest point. However, this doesn't make winters warmer in the north because the seasons are controlled by the tilt of Earth's axis, not the distance from the sun. Interestingly, perihelion also affects the southern hemisphere differently, as it occurs during their summer, making their summers a bit warmer and shorter. This subtle difference in solar energy influences weather patterns and ocean currents, contributing to seasonal variations around the globe. Over thousands of years, the exact timing of perihelion shifts due to gravitational interactions with other planets, slowly changing how Earth experiences these seasonal energy differences. Understanding perihelion not only highlights the dynamic nature of Earth's orbit but also deepens our appreciation for the complex factors that shape climate and weather on our planet. When does aphelion occur? Early July marks a fascinating moment in Earth's orbit called aphelion, the point when our planet is farthest from the sun. At this time, Earth drifts to about 152 million kilometers away, roughly 5 million kilometers farther than average. You might expect this distance to bring cooler temperatures worldwide, but that's not the case. Aphelion occurs during the northern hemisphere's summer, which is warm because of Earth's axial tilt, not its distance from the sun. The sun appears slightly smaller in the sky, and the solar energy reaching Earth decreases by about 7% compared to perihelion. But this difference is subtle and doesn't drastically change the weather. Interestingly, the southern hemisphere experiences winter during aphelion, making their winters a bit milder and longer. This variation in distance influences the distribution of solar energy, subtly affecting atmospheric circulation and ocean currents, which can impact weather patterns around the globe. Over thousands of years, the timing of aphelion shifts due to gravitational forces from other planets, slowly altering Earth's climate cycles. Understanding aphelion reveals how Earth's elliptical orbit creates nuanced effects on our planet's environment, highlighting the delicate balance that governs life on Earth. Distance differences. Earth's elliptical orbit means that the distance between our planet and the Sun isn't constant. It varies by about 5 million kilometers between perihelion and aphelion. At perihelion, Earth is closest to the Sun, around 147 million kilometers away, while at aphelion it's about 152 million kilometers distant. This difference might seem huge, but it only changes the solar energy Earth receives by roughly 7%. Despite this variation, the shape of Earth's orbit has surprisingly little effect on the seasons, which are primarily driven by the tilt of our planet's axis. Instead, the elliptical orbit influences subtle changes in solar radiation that can affect climate patterns over time. These small fluctuations contribute to phenomena like the slight difference in the length of seasons between hemispheres and variations in weather intensity. Over thousands of years, gravitational interactions with other planets cause slow shifts in the orbit's shape and orientation, known as Milankovitch cycles, which have played a role in Earth's long-term climate changes, including ice ages. Understanding the distance differences at perihelion and aphelion helps us appreciate the complex factors that shape Earth's environment and reminds us that our planet's journey around the Sun is a dynamic and ever-changing process. Effect on Earth's seasons. The changing distance between Earth and the Sun during perihelion and aphelion might seem like it would have a huge impact on our seasons, but that's not the case. The real reason we experience seasons is because Earth's axis is tilted about 23.5 degrees relative to its orbit. This tilt causes different parts of the planet to receive varying amounts of sunlight throughout the year, creating the familiar cycle of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Even when Earth is closest to the Sun at perihelion in January, the northern hemisphere is tilted away, resulting in winter there. Conversely, during aphelion in July, Earth is farthest from the Sun, but the northern hemisphere is tilted toward the Sun, producing summer. This axial tilt also explains why the southern hemisphere's seasons are opposite to those in the north. While the elliptical orbit does cause a small difference in solar energy, about 7% more at perihelion than aphelion, this variation is overshadowed by the effect of the tilt. However, the orbit's shape does influence the length and intensity of seasons slightly, contributing to subtle climate variations over time. So, understanding the distinction between the effects of Earth's tilt and its orbital distance helps clarify why seasons happen the way they do, highlighting the complex interplay of factors that govern our planet's climate and weather patterns. Impact on solar energy received. The amount of solar energy Earth receives changes slightly between perihelion and aphelion, and this subtle shift plays a role in our planet's climate system. When Earth is at perihelion around early January, it absorbs about 7% more solar energy than at aphelion in early July. This increase might seem small, but it can influence atmospheric circulation patterns and ocean currents, which in turn affect weather and climate around the globe. For example, the southern hemisphere experiences slightly warmer and shorter summers during perihelion, while the northern hemisphere's summers during aphelion tend to be cooler and longer. These differences contribute to the uneven distribution of heat across the planet, impacting seasonal weather variations. Over time, these small fluctuations in solar energy can amplify or moderate climate phenomena, such as monsoons, droughts, and storm patterns. Additionally, the elliptical orbit's influence on solar radiation interacts with other factors like volcanic activity and greenhouse gases to shape Earth's complex climate system. Understanding how the changing distance between Earth and the Sun affects solar energy helps us grasp the delicate balance of forces that govern our weather and long-term climate trends. This knowledge is crucial for scientists studying climate change and predicting future environmental shifts, highlighting the intricate connection between Earth's orbit and life on our planet. Influence on climate and weather. Earth's climate is shaped by many factors, and one of the less obvious but important influences is the subtle variation in its orbit caused by perihelion and aphelion. These points mark Earth's closest and farthest distances from the Sun, and over thousands of years, gravitational forces from other planets cause slow but significant changes in the shape and orientation of Earth's orbit. This phenomenon, part of what scientists call Milankovitch cycles, affects how much solar energy different parts of Earth receive during various seasons. These orbital changes have been linked to long-term climate patterns, including the timing of ice ages and warmer interglacial periods. When Earth's orbit becomes more elliptical, the difference between perihelion and aphelion distances grows, amplifying seasonal contrasts. Conversely, a more circular orbit reduces these differences, leading to milder seasonal variations. Understanding these orbital shifts helps explain why Earth's climate has fluctuated so dramatically over geological timescales. It also highlights the delicate cosmic interplay that influences our planet's environment far beyond daily weather changes. Recognizing how perihelion and aphelion fit into this broader picture deepens our appreciation for the complex forces shaping Earth's past, present, and future climate. Why Earth's orbit changes over time. Earth's orbit is not a static path, but a dynamic journey influenced by countless cosmic forces, and understanding perihelion and aphelion gives us a glimpse into this celestial dance. These points mark the extremes of Earth's elliptical orbit, shaping how much solar energy our planet receives at different times of the year. While the variations in distance might seem minor on a cosmic scale, their effects ripple through Earth's climate system, influencing weather patterns, ocean currents, and even long-term climate cycles. Over millennia, the shifting timing and shape of perihelion and aphelion, driven by gravitational tugs from other planets, contribute to the natural ebb and flow of ice ages and warm periods. This ongoing orbital evolution reminds us that Earth's environment is part of a vast, interconnected system where even subtle changes can have profound impacts. By exploring these orbital points, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexity of our planet's climate and the delicate balance that sustains life. So next time you feel the warmth of the sun, or notice the changing seasons, remember that Earth's position in its orbit, whether near perihelion or aphelion, is one of many cosmic factors quietly shaping our world. Thanks for watching this deep dive into Earth's perihelion and aphelion here on InnoVision Tech. If you enjoyed uncovering how our planet's orbit shapes climate and seasons, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our latest tech and science insights. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below with your questions or what topic you want us to explore next. Join the InnoVision Tech community, and let's keep exploring the future of technology and discovery together.